With just under a week away for Phase 3 for the Season of Discovery, there's a lot of questions still left of what is actually coming. Now, we've been teased with quite a bit, but there's some things that, honestly, I think they're reasonable asks to see in Phase 3. My name's Coyote, and let's get to it.
Stupid coyote.
The announcement came at such short notice, we haven't been able to really speculate what we would really like to see. Now, some people are still asking for the same things. We would like instant mail and all these other things, but I thought about some things that are somewhat in the game already that we can just adjust and fine tune and bring to everybody. And that's what this list is all about today. Appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please leave a like on the video or comment if there's something else you think you would like to see that's pretty reasonable. Something that may just be a quick shift or different placement of code. Training dummies may not seem like a big thing to most classic players, but into retail or even modern era players in general, they're a huge help in practicing rotations or working on weak auras or just kind of like nailing down the finer bits of different things. You see a lot of PvPers use them to kind of practice doing different maneuvers and stuff like that. And the only training dummies we know of are right here in Thousand Needles. Now, these training dummies, they're not for everybody. They're only for warriors, and so only warriors could technically practice their rotations or do anything. As you see, if I hit them, they just say immune. And it'd be nice to have ones that everybody can attack and maybe put them in some major cities. Put them in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, where we can go in and kind of fine-tune rotation abilities. Work on weak auras, or some PvPers I know like to use them to kind of practice down some things right there. Just a simple ask. We already have them in the game, and moving them and making them attackable by everybody to those major cities, I don't think is a big deal. If you're like me, you probably get frustrated sometimes trying to get the waylaid supplies for whether it be the Azeroth Trading Society or the Duratar Logistics Supply. It's kind of annoying. You can be out killing something all day and maybe see one box or no box, or maybe even watch other people get the same box twice. It gets rather annoying. At level 50, it'd be really nice to see a daily quest that either gives you a box or gives you about a 200 rep. You could even bring it in to where they're adding different items, like the same ones that they're going to be requesting from these boxes. One, it gives crafters a reason to kind of keep going out there. It introduces some gold to the population so that way they can actually make money, and it helps with a rep grind that just seems like it takes forever if you're not lucky enough. Now, this doesn't just apply to those two rep grinds. We'd also be kind of cool to see something be added for Warsong Gulch. We already have in the Stranglethorn Vale, the Blood Moon event, you can buy wood logs and turn them into Arathi Basin for rep. So why not add something to the Warsong faction as well? Something we can just turn in. We're already PvPing over there. No one's really going to Ashenvale to PvP anymore. So why not just kind of combine the events and give us a chance to earn rep with both? Now, before the start of Phase 2, it was mentioned that we were going to get to see something for our gathering professions. All the other professions are being brought online so that way they can compete with engineering, which was the go-to DPS spec for Classic. But now we're starting to see items that are leveling the playing field that you don't feel pigeonholed having to have everybody be an engineer. But the thing is we still haven't seen anything yet for our gatherers. So it'd be nice to see. Now, during Cataclysm, we got to see these passive skills come through, whether it was Lifeblood, which gave you a nice little boost to your haste, Toughness for your stamina, or Master of Anatomy, which gave you a nice little crit bonus. It'd be nice to see something along these lines come back to the game, just to kind of make it feel like crafters have gatherers have a purpose. Right now, we see a lot of players, even in my guild, that just have dual production specialties, and I'm not talking about tailoring and enchanting. No, I'm talking about blacksmithing and engineering, leatherworking and engineering, just because they're trying to get the bonuses out of both. It'd just be nice. They've already said it's in the game, they just haven't implemented it yet. That's what at least was reported to us at the beginning of Phase 2. With 20-man raiding coming to the game, we know that it's going to be even more of a hassle trying to buff. Now, we know class books come at level 60, but why not bring those down to level 50? All right, it's going to make time a little bit easier trying to have to buff everybody. If I can just buff my group with all my Mark of the Wild, It'd make life a little bit easier. Maybe even make it a part of the class quest lines that we know are coming. Just something a little bit of a flavor we can just bring down. It's like I said, it's already in the game, but let's help us out because at this point in Classic, nobody was doing 20-man content outside of giant groups, but that was probably like a major preset thing. Just a little bit of flavor, nothing crazy. Now, this one may be a little bit more controversial, but I think it'd be a nice little change to the game to get Season 1 runes at a vendor. Now, I would say that you need to make the price a little high, because if you're skipping out on actually looking for the quest and actually just going out to find these runes, there should be that little give and take. But it's kind of annoying to have to go in and do Grisby's stuff 3 times. It's also, you've got a couple of quest chains that take you super far out, and then super far back, and then super far out, and then super far back. It'd be really nice just to see a change in this, where I can just go in and for maybe like 5 or 6 gold, buy a certain ruin that just kind of requires a little bit more. We already have ruins that are vendored through the Azeroth Trading Society or the Duratar Logistics. Maybe add it to them, and once you hit a certain rep with one of your characters, then ruins become more available to buy for everybody. This right here is my last ask. Bring back the Season 1 communication. Now, in the defense of the developers, a lot of them got pulled to go work on WoW Classic Cataclysm. There was a lot of early bugs, and so the teams got pulled away. That's why we haven't seen as many updates in the recent months. But this last news drop, when they said, hey, by the way, Phase 3's here, we were kind of like, what? It completely ruined our plans as a guild as we were getting ready to go into our recruiting phase for Phase 3, thinking we still had a few more weeks just before the announcement, let alone the patch drop. Now, I'm not the only one that kind of feels this way. A lot of people will reach down to Agrin, Josh Greenfield, the lead developer for the Season of Discovery, and said, hey man, this was bad. This was a giant ball drop on your part, and he actually has taken responsibility for it, which is something that the Season of Discovery team has been really good about, like just taking responsibility for their mistakes. But this one, moving into Phase 4, at least give us some time, because a lot of guilds, they don't even know if they're going to be able to make 20 man in the first couple of weeks without having to pug. Our recruiting efforts, I'm going to tell you, we've had to kick them into overdrive. All in all, I'm not asking for anything wild or crazy, and in fact, I don't think I've probably covered everything that I really did want to ask for. I think these are just some basic items that would kind of help out the game in a good direction in all different aspects. If you agree, leave a comment down below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. As always, my name's Coyote. Happy adventures.
Stupid coyote.